Hello and welcome to another video, and today I decided now that pretty much every part of E3 not E3 2022 is over, as that's what I'm calling it, E3 not E3. I thought it would be fun to take away from this the top 5 games from the show, what mattered the most to me, what excited me the most. And this can be through anything. This can be from the Sony event a couple weeks ago, this can be from Summer Games Fest, this can be from the Xbox event. Anything that happened in this time, you know, we're just going to kind of call this the E3 not E3 extravaganza top 5 list, I guess. So I just thought it would be fun, kind of go off the cuff here and pick what I think were like potentially the the 5 most exciting things. What I'm looking forward to now as the fall landscape is starting to kind of take shape, which again, spoiler, it's pretty bare this year. So I have these in order. Number 1 I'd say would be what I would call my most anticipated game of 2022 right now as it stands, but everything else is not really in any order. This is just the order I put this shit in. So alright, so number 5 on my list is going to be Stray, which is the PS4, PS5, and PC exclusive. I guess it's not really exclusive when it's on 3 platforms, but it's the kitty cat game. It's a game where you're playing as a kitty cat and he's stranded in like a cyberpunk world. This game caught my eye at E3 last year, and I'm happy to see that it's coming out soon. It's coming out July 19th. The only thing I'll say, the scuttle about this game that I think is kind of lame, is you can get this game if you're a PlayStation Plus member, but only the new higher tier, which I am not. You know, I think I've pretty much said, like, I'm just gonna stick with the basic tier of PlayStation Plus because most of the games on that list I either own or have played, so there's no real reason for me to, and I'm not gonna pay for that tier just to play this game. I'd rather just buy the game outright. This looks fantastic. It looks like a lot of fun, and in a year that it's pretty dry and I've basically been concentrating on my backlog of games, this is something to actually really look forward to. That's number 5 on my list. Number 4 on my list is actually a game that has been high on my radar for a while, and it's actually out this week. So this is going to date this video a little bit, but I'm really excited about it, and that is TMNT Shredder's Revenge. I will say, as a kid growing up, I never really got into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It wasn't until I was a little bit older that I kind of started going back and watching the movies, like the 90s live action movies, watching a little bit of the cartoon when I got a little bit older and got into the series. As a kid, I was a Batman fan. Obviously, you can see, you know, Batman everywhere. I was always a Batman fan, but I always had respect for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I always thought it was awesome. That late 80s, early 90s cartoon is incredible. Those games, especially, everybody knows Turtles in Time, fantastic beat 'em up. This game looks awesome. You have the 4 turtles, and then you can play as either April O'Neil or Casey Jones, and I think you can even play as Splinter, so that's pretty cool. It's out. The other thing that's really cool about it is it's on Game Pass. So, like, I don't even have to buy the game. It's just on Game Pass, and I can play it. But I have friends on both systems that are going to play it, so I'll probably end up getting it on PlayStation as well. That's number 4 on my list, and I really can't wait to play it. Number 3 on my list is another Game Pass game. It has a date. It's coming out in October. It's a game I've been looking at for a while, and that is Scorn. You guys know me by now, 5 years of doing this. I am a massive horror game fan. I'll play anything that's a horror game. I'll try any of them. This looks to be kind of in the same vein as The Medium in terms of like where the budget's at for it. This is very heavily based on the designs of H.R. Geiger, the guy that created the alien monster for the Alien movies. It looks fantastic. It looks really weird and bizarre and creepy and disturbing, but I really dig everything this game is doing thus far. So I'm really excited to play it. Comes out at the perfect time, which is Halloween. And that's when we want to be playing these types of games. So that's number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my list, I almost made this number 1, but something edged it out. And this is a surprising one, but for whatever reason, this game just looks like crazy, stupid, dumb fun. And that is Exo Primal. So Exo Primal looks like a cross between Earth Defense Force and there was a dinosaur game I used to play on Steam a long time ago. The name's escaping me right now, but it was another cooperative game where you take down dinosaurs. This game looks crazy. like absolutely batshit crazy in like this. It has this very mid 2000s Capcom energy to it, where they just don't give a fuck, and I appreciate that. It looks wild. Like the footage they showed, there was a part where like there was an airplane going down over the city, and it just had a bunch of dinosaurs like falling out of it. Like you're in different mech suits fighting these dinosaurs. There's also this like sentient AI that's like controlling everything. It just looks like somebody sat down and had this like fucked up idea for a video game, and Capcom said go ahead and make that, and that's what this game is. Now where this game could have a downfall is if they heavily monetize it or something like that, but right now it looks like a fantastic time. It was the game that I think I enjoyed the most at the Capcom press conference, and a highlight of everything, you know, that was shown this year for sure for me. That's number 2 on my list. Number 1 on my list, my pick for game, I guess we call game of the show for, you know, E3, not E3 2022, it should really come as no surprise because it's another franchise I'm a huge fan of, Diablo 4. So, yeah, we had other heavy hitters, and we'll talk about those in a minute, but Diablo 4 is looking fucking great. Like, I can't stress how good this game looks, and I think the thing that was the most promising to me throughout the Xbox press conference is when they showed footage of it running on the Series X, so you know that the game is looking that good on actual hardware. This isn't some high-end, you know, built to be shot up into space PC that's running the game. This was running on Series X hardware. It looks fantastic. I like the fact that they're going back to the darker, grittier Diablo 2 tone, because I think 3 kind of lost that. 3 was definitely a little more, I wouldn't say, it's not a kid-friendly game by any means, but it was a little softer around the edges for that kind of shit. And this one just looks like they're just going for that fucking metal, hellish, you know, gritty, grimy look to it, and I love everything about it. All the classes look great that they showed. I think this is the first time they've showed the Necromancer, which is one of my favorite classes. Can't wait. I cannot wait for this game. It's out next year. Is it going to hit in the next 12 months like Microsoft was saying all their games in the show is going to hit? I don't think so, but if it does, that's great. I cannot wait for this game. So that was number 1. That was my favorite game of the show this year. You know, I know somebody's going to get in the comments and they're going to either joke with me or be serious about saying Starfield, so I thought I'd address that at the end. And I think I addressed it in the Xbox video I did as well, but like, Starfield's just not doing it for me right now. Like, I'm a big Bethesda RPG guy. I love Fallout 3. I love Fallout 4. Obviously, Skyrim Oblivion is one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's in my top 5. I think it still is. I should redo that list. But this game, like, maybe it's a combination of the footage they showed where, like, some of it looked good, some of it didn't look good. I don't really know, but it's just not doing it for me right now. And it's very clear that that game needed the delay that it got. So, will that game actually make it in the next 12 months? I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see. So, that's the reason why it's just not included on this list. So, anyways, guys, I'd be curious to know, what are your top 5 games of the show for this year, for E3, not E3 2022, or Summer Games Fest, or the Xbox show, or the Sony State of Play from a couple weeks ago? What was it? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know. And remember, as always, to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time.